Even when I was in prison, I asked the governor, can I have a single cell? So I wanted to paint. I was actually doing fakes in there. The governor said, Max Brandrett, I hope you're not doing any of those dodgy pictures in there. I went, no, Governor, not. I was doing Samuel Palmer's. I'll paint any subject they throw in front of me, anything. I'm not doing it for 45 years, you know. My name is Max Brandrett, alias Max the Forger. I'm not going to say I'm the greatest forger, but I used to love doing it. In fact, one of my pictures turned up on Antiques Roadshow. Yeah, I thought that's mine. Well, I was born in Brighton, one-bedroom flat. Food was scarce. It was poverty. It was real poverty. In those days, the authorities would just take you away to a home. The first Barnardo's, I arrived in 1955. After the homes, I came to 15 years old and we were allowed out. Unfortunately, my mum was living with not a nice person. He beat me up one night and I decided to do a runner. I got the Evening Standard and it said, men wanted for circus. So I got up to Chipping Norton. There was a guy standing there and he said, what do you want, son? I said, any jobs? And he took me in to this tent with 12 elephants all lined up. And he said, do you want to look after these then? I said, yeah, I don't mind. He said, you'll be raking out, you'll be washing them down, and so you'll be sleeping in a corner with the camels. There was some bloody camels in the corner there. Lelia, Mary, Camilla, Susie, Dayla, Dana, Rani, Sita, May, Mabel, Janie and Sally. And I did that for 2 years. Then I went to London. I've always painted. I'd start looking for old canvases. I'd clean them all off. I'd run them right down, prime them. Then I'd think, what shall I do? Picture of George Washington, Nelson, Napoleon, shipping scenes. So I did the whole lot. There was an antique dealer, but he was a con man, asking me, did I do the pictures? He thought they were prints. He thought I'd retouched them. I said, no, I paint them. We teamed up. And he came out and said, look, I think we could do well. I'm going to tell you a little trick that we did. The bead glue comes in dry form. You soak it overnight in cold water. The next morning, you've got a jelly. You put it on the stove, and then it's a liquid. It's like a varnish. So you get your picture, you varnish it over, you go to your heater, and you circulate the painting so the heat goes all over where the varnish is. You can actually hear it cracking. So then you think, right, I've got enough cracks in that. Take it to your tap, wash the bead glue off. You're left with the cracks. Empty your Hoover onto it, rub it in, dust it all off. All your cracks are filled with dirt and black. Old nails back to where they should be, old varnish on top of that, under glass, you couldn't tell. Unless it's taken out the frame and goes under X-ray, you couldn't tell. That was it. That's how we used to do it. The buzz in the auction rooms, right turn on, you know. So as soon as we got them in the auction, we would go to the preview. You know that picture's only a week old and it's dated 1790, right? And you listen to the comments. I loved it. I watched it go up and then, yeah, it was great. I used to love the selling side. I got about 10 pictures together, only small ones. Went down to Portobello Road, set up my little pitch. I had a blanket with my pictures on. One day, this young kiddie came down, beautifully dressed suit. He said, can you do one picture for my friend? Got this photograph. It was a photograph of a lady about 50. So I did the picture, framed it, took it back the following week. He came down and said, my friends are at the pub up there. Opened the door, recognised straight away Ronnie, Cray and Reggie. Ronnie gets up and he comes over to me, he goes, here, Reggie, have a look at this. Have a look at this, Reggie. Ain't that Mum? That's Mum, innit? He's got it, innit? God, there, he said, it's Mum all over. And he kept saying it. He turned around and he said, have a drink. And I sat with him, sandwiched in between his two, they were big guys. It was frightening. That was in 1967. A few months after that, they were nicked for the shooting of George Connell. Well, then I met Tom Keating. I teamed up with him and we started to do the real noughties, you know, the big monies. We were hitting big galleries, making big money. Samuel Palmer's were our best bet. He was good at Samuel Palmer's, but I was better at the oil painting, doing the marines, you know. I could do Constable of Albert Derby, old fishing scenes, seascapes, you name it, I did it. Tom was selling in one antique shop, I was selling in the other. And he was so sloppy when he had a drink. The bottom of the sea was still wet, so it came off in his hand. We had to charge down with Arundel High Street, and we couldn't find the car. We got these two antique dealers chasing us, going, you wait, you'll get your hands on you. In the car and gone. So many things happened, it was wonderful. Tom passed away in 85. And I carried on faking Keating's work as well. It was much sought after. I used to sign it Tom Keating. I was hitting all the auction rooms on that. A member of the fraud squad wanted to nick me. I got 18 months. This is me in the picture here. I did this painting, it's a Van der Valve. I got nicked for this picture. 5 days after that, I was in a holding cell in London. The next time I got nicked, I said to the judge, I'm sorry, it's like drugs, I get withdrawal symptoms. I see an old canvas and my fingers start to shake, I've got to do it, you know. Do you know what it's like to be released at 8 o'clock in the morning when those big doors open and you walk out? Great feeling, that's why I couldn't do it again. I'm in a good place now. I paint what I like, you know. I love being surrounded by my work here. I love it. Okay, I went off the rails slightly, but, you know, I'm back on track now. Oh, I like that bit. Yeah. True stories, every one of them.